So just mute.
And thank you guys. Thank you for everybody being here. This means a lot to everybody. We'd like to start the ceremony off with welcoming message and introduction from our city mayor, Anna Velasquez.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here. So good morning again, and thank you. I'd like to begin by offering my deepest gratitude to our firefighters, our police officers, our EMTs, and our first responders. And thank you for all of our dignitaries that are joining us here today, our city council members that are here with us. And we also have our school board president that's joining us here, Mr. Burke, and we also have our superintendent. And I'm hoping I didn't forget anyone else, but thank you for joining us in this special gathering of remembrance. I just want to go back just in our deepest gratitude for our firefighters and our first responders. These are the individuals who chose a profession centered around service, who step forward when others step back, who defended and protect life when doing so puts their own lives at risk. As we gather today to remember the tragic events of September 11th, 2001, we pause to honor the nearly 3,000 lives lost in a horrific attack on our country. We remember not only the victims who went to work or boarded a plane that day, but also the heroes who responded without hesitation, those who ran toward the danger rather than away from it. The bravery of the first responders on that day and the days that followed remains one of the clearest examples of what it means to serve with courage, with honor, and with selflessness. Many gave their lives trying to save others, upholding their oath in the most profound way possible. Firefighters, police officers, and first responders carried equipment up 70 floors to reach trapped victims. Many knew buildings might collapse, but they continued their rescue mission anyway. They stayed behind to help others evacuate, putting civilian lives before their own. Many made final phone calls to families expressing their love while continuing their duties. May we never forget their courage and their sacrifice. We also remember the everyday people, strangers, who helped one another despite the chaos. The brave men and women who boarded those planes that morning and courageously fought and died to save lives of others. In those moments of darkness, we saw the light of humanity shine through. People reached out, lifted each other, and reminded us that we are stronger together. Their sacrifice reminds us that ordinary people can perform extraordinary acts of heroism. In the face of tragedy, we saw what defines us as a nation. Not just our grief, but our resilience. Not just our loss, but our unity. We saw courage, compassion, and unity. We saw the best of humanity in our darkest hour. Let us never forget those that we lost. Let us honor them not just in memory, but in action, by choosing to live lives of purpose, of kindness, and of service, committing to protecting democracy and freedom. Let their legacy inspire us to be better, to do better, and to take care of one another. May their memories be a blessing, and may we always remember their bravery and their sacrifice. Today, we also take time to pay tribute to our local heroes, to Chief Lukenbach and Chief Nunes, and our courageous Soledad firefighters, to Chief Valenzuela and our brave men and women of the Soledad Police Department, and all of our first responders. Thank you for protecting our families and keeping our community safe every day. We are grateful for each of you and for your families. On behalf of the City Council and our Soledad community, we are eternally grateful for your courage and your commitment to saving lives. I also want to thank our community. I also want to ask our community to keep all of our firefighters who are currently battling wildfires throughout California, especially our Fresno Monterey County South Fire, in their thoughts and prayers. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to share a few moments on this day of remembrance. And with that, I'd like everyone to please stand as I'd like to welcome the Soledad NJROTC Color Guard and our special guest to sing the national anthem, Jennifer Gray.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please remain standing as I introduce Engineer Zach Boscovich to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right hand on your heart. Ready? Begin.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready? Cut. Right. Face. Forward. Arms. Forward. Arms.
sir.
And you may be seated. I'd like to introduce our special guest, our Gabbling Camp CDCR Lieutenant Mike Nielsen.
Good morning. When the chief asked me to speak today, I was quite honored to get the chance to come and speak to everyone. A couple of things, September 11th, 2001, 72 law enforcement officers died that day in the line of duty. And an estimated 230 more have died since then due to illnesses that they've received and got from working around Ground Zero. I want to thank the community for their support on this day of remembrance. And the brotherhood of my fellow first responders here makes my heart swell with pride. 2 weeks after graduating high school, it was my privilege to enlist in the United States Marine Corps. I was able to travel the world, seeing Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and seeing combat in Desert Storm. Upon my honorable discharge, I began pursuing my career with the California Department of Corrections, which brought me here to the city of Soledad, where I was able to purchase my first home and begin my family. And being asked what 9/11 meant to me and in my life, I would have to say that this tragic day turned into resolve for me. Is a driving factor in my career. In November, I'll be celebrating my 30th year with the department, and a lot of my partners have retired since then. But seeing what took place in that day, I still have that drive to serve the community, my partners, and people like that. The last 10 years, I've been the Gabbling Camp Commander, working with our CAL FIRE partners here in the Central Coast, protecting Monterey County and the greater part of the state of California from wildland fires and floods. Ask each of you to cherish your time you have with your families. There's nothing in life is guaranteed. Take care of your loved ones, your neighbors, your community, and this wonderful city we call home. Thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce special guest Warren Hoyt.
Good morning. I've been asked to come and share a story from a few years ago about something that happened with me. It was a really beautiful late summer day, beautiful clear blue skies, warm but not hot, just that kind of day where you do not want to be at work. And I was at work. So I was sitting at my desk trying to think of how to get out of there, how to sneak out early, maybe go for a bike ride, do something outdoors. And then at 9:25 that morning, a Boeing 727 exploded directly beneath me. My office was in room 3 Delta 452 of the Pentagon. And when the plane hit the Pentagon, it kind of hit at ground level and burrowed through the first and second floors, through the E ring and into the D ring where my office was, and then finished, it stopped at the C ring, where the Pentagon is 5 concentric rings, starting from the E on the outside. So I was on the second from the outside. The plane, as it passed underneath the D ring, was exploding already at that time. So the window next to my desk blew in with a big fireball coming in from outside. Fortunately, because the air conditioning system was on, there was higher air pressure inside than outside. So the fire blew in and then blew right back out again. But it did start a few small fires, loose papers and things in the office. But the problem we had was the smoke. The 2 floors below us were fully engulfed in flame. And our floor was not yet on fire, but it was filled with thick, black, oily jet fuel smoke, where you couldn't see anything. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face. So we got up, and the nearest exit was toward the back of the room. This was a big room with about 80 cubicles in it. The nearest exit from where I was at the back of the room. So I went back there to the fire exit, and when I opened the door, I realized it was a fire exit because the whole 5 floors of stairwell were full of flame. So we couldn't go out that way. At that point, my boss, who was at the very back of the room, we literally ran into each other in the smoke. And the 2 of us turned to start working our way forward, climbing over debris that fallen from the ceiling, light fixtures and furniture, things like that, trying to find our way back to the front. And as we went, we could check for people behind us to make sure we weren't leaving anyone still back there. We were checking each row of cubicles as we went, to make sure no one was there. And to get out, some of the other people in the office had positioned themselves along the way and were calling out into the smoke and saying, walk toward my voice, come toward me. Watch out for the hole where the copier used to be. Walk toward my voice. And as we came to each person, we were able to tell them there's no one behind us. And then they would join us and we'd work our way to the next person, the next, until we got out to the main corridor. The fire doors had closed and contained the smoke pretty well. It was still smoky, but nothing like it had been in our office. So we joined the throngs of people exiting the building. The Pentagon is the largest office building in the world. It's about 25,000 employees. And so we joined the sea of humanity trying to get out. And because of where we were among the later ones to leave. The people who were right near the corridors, of course, had gotten straight out. It took us a few minutes to get there. As I was leaving, and kind of in the thinning out crowd of people heading down the corridor and heading for the exits, there were three groups of, I would say, a total of maybe 12 or 15 firefighters going the other way. Just like Mayor Velasquez said, we were all fleeing the danger and they were running toward it. And that image sticks in my head today. There were, I think it was 123 people killed at the Pentagon. 3 of them were friends of mine. But seeing that action, those heroic people in a building full of heroes, it's all military people there. And we were all running away and they were running to the fire, running to save lives, running to help people. That image stays in my mind, will always be there. And for that reason, I am eternally grateful to firefighters, first responders, police, EMTs. They were all there that day. They were all making a difference. They set up an emergency treatment, a triage facility right outside the building in the fresh air, and we're treating people already by the time I got out. And so I thank you, all of the firefighters that are here, all of the first responders. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for keeping us safe. And thank you for being the brave heroes that you are. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce our CAL FIRE Unit Chief, George Nunes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and members of the fire service, and members of CAL FIRE BEU. Today we gather in solemn remembrance of devastating events of September 11th, 2001. On that morning, our country was struck by unprecedented terrorist attacks. 2 planes were flown into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, another into the Pentagon, and a 4th United Flight 93 was brought down in a Pennsylvania field by passengers who refused to let evil triumph. We come here today to honor those who perished and those who bravely responded. On that day, we lost 343 members of the FDNY, 23 New York Police Department officers, 37 Port Authority officers, 129 civilians, and 55 military personnel at the Pentagon, and countless other civilians who were simply present at work, returning home, or carrying on their day. In the aftermath of these attacks, nearly 3,000 lives were lost, more than 6,000 were injured. Yet amid the destruction, courage prevailed. An estimated 87,000 people were safely evacuated from Lower Manhattan because of the determination and the bravery of the first responders, civilian volunteers, and ordinary men and women who placed others before themselves. The values and the vision of the FDNY is to be a world-class leader in the emergency services. It's rooted in their core values: bravery, honor, dedication, and unwavering service. On that day, countless firefighters, officers, and rescuers embodied those values in the most profound way. Among them was Daryl Bronco Persall. He was a beloved figure in the FDNY from Rescue Squad 4. He was a musician, an athlete, an educator, and hero. Known for his imposing physical presence and an even bigger heart, Bronco volunteered when the alarms rang. He was going off shift that morning. He sacrificed himself trying to save others. His legacy through the FDNY's Emerald Society, the football team he captained, and his stadium named in his honor in the jersey preserved at the Memorial Museum. Every year on 9/11, they gather to read the names. Ernest Hemingway once said, "You die two deaths. Once, when you stop to take your breath for the last time, and the second, when the last person you know mentions your name for the last time." Let us never forget those folks. Let us never forget what happened that day, and let us never forget the sacrifice that were made. May we never forget their sacrifice. May we carry forward their legacy, and may we continue to honor their memory, not only through reflection, but through our actions. Let their service inspire us to act with bravery, uphold our values, and serve our communities wholeheartedly every day. Thank you.
Now for remembrance and a bell ringing ceremony from engineer Josh Dodd and Max Shell.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today, September 11th, 2025, marks the 24th anniversary of the horrific terrorist attacks that took place on America on September 11th, 2001. Even though these events happened before many of you here today were born, we still want to make sure we all remember the events of that tragic day and those lost. Our world has changed and will never be the same as it was before these attacks. Please join me in solemn remembrance. I will read a brief timeline of events that fateful September morning, 23 years ago today. At 8:46 a.m., American Airlines Flight 11, piloted by Captain John Ogonowski, a U.S. Air Force veteran, with 10 crew members, 76 passengers, crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. At 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175, piloted by Captain Victor Saraceni, a U.S. Navy veteran, with 8 crew members and 56 passengers, crashed into the South Tower of the World Trade Center. And at 9:37 a.m., American Airlines Flight 77, piloted by Captain Charles Burlingame, a U.S. Navy veteran, with 5 crew members and 58 passengers, crashed into the Pentagon. And at 10:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 93, piloted by Captain Jason Dahl, with 7 crew members and 33 passengers, believed to be heading to the U.S. Capitol, crashed in the field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, after passengers and crew rushed to the cockpit. The total of 2,977 persons died in this terrorist attack, and an estimated 2,753 died at the World Trade Center. 1,717 families still have no remains of their family members. 3,051 children lost a parent. 343 firefighters died in the rescue attempt, and more than 300 more have died from 9/11 related illnesses. 23 police officers died, and 37 Port Authority police officers died. 184 died at the Pentagon. 40 died in Pennsylvania. More than 2,343 military personnel have died during freedom and war against terrorism. May the nearly 3,000 Americans that gave their lives and 6,000 injured on that tragic day never be forgotten. Please join me in a moment of silence to remember all those lost and affected. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for being here today. This concludes our ceremony. I want to send a special thank you to our city council members in the city of Soledad, Mayor, the Soledad High School NJROTC for being here this morning, Soledad's American Legion, and CAL FIRE Mendocino County units that are here covering Monterey County while our resources are still on fires. To all of our special guests, thank you very much for being here. And I want to send a special thank you to Darlene Noriega and Caitlin Zamudio for helping us out with this event. That means a massive amount that you guys help us with these events, and we're greatly appreciative. Thank you, and we welcome everybody for in the app bay for some snacks and refreshments. Thank you for all being here.